What up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today is now the second day after Christmas, and RL and I decided it was time to do another how-to trick video. So today's video, we are going to be doing a how-to on the Footjam Tailwhip, as it is called. And as you'll notice, we're back here in the garage. We actually recently got kicked out of the parking lot at MPC. I guess we're no longer allowed to ride there, which kind of sucks because we've been riding there for the better part of, I'd say, the last year and a half.
So I'm sure it's got insurance. And
yeah.
They don't want a bunch of people starting to ride there, and you know.
Well,
who knows, man, California, we're lucky to get the time we got, you know.
yeah, they're tightwads in California. But
yeah, very strict.
It was kind of good timing just because it's been raining for like the last week and a half here, so we kind of have to ride in the garage anyways. But so as I was saying, we're going to be doing the how-to on the Footjam Tailwhip. Now, as RL was saying earlier to me, Footjam kind of entails or implies that you're not using brakes because you're jamming your foot there. But I use the brakes, but I also put my foot there. Are you brakeless on this trick, or where are you at?
Oh no, the brakes all the way.
Yeah.
The first part would be a first foot jam or a tail whip, but what do you call the second part?
Like 180 out.
Foot jam, tail whip, 180 out.
Yeah. I'm just trying to land it. I don't even have name. It's not.
Don't name it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already been named, as a matter of fact, and about 40 years ago.
Yeah, and in my opinion, this is a really cool trick. I don't have it down yet. I'm able to land it, I'd say, like once every 5 tries. But I just think it's a really cool trick, and it's something I think a beginner can start to learn, you know, after riding a little bit. So
yeah,
I kind of
we're just gonna try to get like one whiplash or foot tail whip, one tail whip, and just a 180 out. But Chris Day, back, I mean, like 40 years ago, was a master of this, and he'd do 1.5 or 2 360s coming out.
Jesus.
Yeah, he would roll his front wheel somehow without falling on his face.
Yeah, and that's another thing about this trick is there are a lot of different variations. So like today we're going to be doing it on the ground, but guys obviously do tail whips in the air, double, triple tail whips. Yeah, I've seen guys land on the top of like the half pipe, you know, on the flat part, do a tail whip on the front wheel, then hop back in. So there's all different ways you can expand and grow from this trick. We're just doing the beginner kind of entry level version of it. So Harris, someone commented on our video. His name's Danny Harris. He's someone we've been talking to for a while now online, I believe. But he's suggesting now I do the abubda cut. Learn how to do an abubda cut.
At the skate park.
On the like quarter pipe, so like at the top and then hop back in. So I mean, that seems a little out there for me, but I think I'm gonna try it. It seems like that'd be a lot of fun to do, or just a cool thing.
I think whatever you try, you're gonna do.
Really?
But he did pick a pretty, especially depending on how big that quarter pipe is, it's pretty.
Yeah.
You know.
I still got to get the grinding down on the quarter pipe.
You need good brakes for that too.
Yeah, but I think that might be the next thing I go to. But yeah, I was gonna say a tail whip in the air. That would be really cool. That's just like one of those classic tricks to me that you see it. It's like
tail whip jump.
Yeah, in the air. Yeah. It's just kind of like timeless. It'll always be cool, you know.
Yeah.
We recently got a care package from Chris and his wife Wheezy Germain, their last name, and we actually met both of them while we were at the Buckeye Bike Show last year in Dayton, Ohio. So if you want to hold this, I'll show real quick the shirt I'm wearing. They hooked us up with this shirt. Each of us got one. They sent a cool letter too, really nice. But this is their, I guess, hip trick BMX. It's like their freestyle group or team.
1986.
Yeah, and you can check them out online. I think it's Peeps Official 12. And let me see. I have the name written down actually.
Yeah, thank you guys for the shirt. That was really cool.
Yeah,
you'll know Chris and Wheezy when you see them, because when I saw them, I'm like, oh. You guys are into old hot rods, right? Because they look like the girls and guys you see at old hot rods with the long beard here, and she had her hair in pigtails. And they just look like hot rod people. They're like, no, they're not into it. They're into bikes.
Oh, really? Huh. There it is. Yeah, you got the 180 at the end. Okay, so that is what we're going for, obviously, the whole trick. And I guess let's walk them through it now, step by step. And There's actually, before you do that, I would say there's two different ways to do this trick we'll show you. Arl's gonna show you the first way and then I'll show you the second way.
Okay, so you're rolling in. Foot gets jammed here. And I turn in or I lean the bike out. And then while my foot's jammed in there and the front brake's on, I kick it and pull it around.
Okay.
And then I stop the frame with my foot. And if it's in the air when it comes around,
boom.
It gives you a little more momentum to get out.
Okay.
But that is the trick. That's the biggest part of the trick is you're standing like this and you just try to find your pedals.
Yeah, that I need to learn that because that's where I lose it.
But it's kind of better if you just, I think this leg comes off and whips around, and then you're rolling. It's a lot easier to get balanced.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna explain the second way of how to do the Footjam Tailwhip. So the first way, the way RL was showing you guys, is he was doing it where he starts from his pedals. And the way I'm gonna do is actually the way our friend Bobby Carlton showed me, because I was having some tricks with the landing portion of this trick. And what he taught me is to actually start it from your pegs. So when you're coming into the trick, instead of staying 1 foot on the pedal, you want to have 1 foot on the peg. And what this will allow you to do is set your pedals so they're flat for when you finish the trick, which will make it a little
cool.
easier. Yeah, right? So it'll make it easier for rolling out of the trick. When you do it from the pedals, obviously it's still possible as RL showed you. But when you come off or from when you land on the frame after the bike whips around, your pedals are normally straight up and down, which makes it a little harder to roll out of. So that's why I was learning from the pegs like Bobby showed me. It just makes it easier if you're a beginner at this trick.
In a BSD Revolution hub, we both are running them.
Yeah.
Your pedals don't move forwards or backwards.
Yep.
So they're always right in place.
Yeah, I love the Revolution. Makes it really easy. I'm excited to get one of those on our big bikes.
Yeah.
See how it is for wheeling and then doing freestyle as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me try and do this full speed and then I'll walk you guys through it. So starting on the peg, set my pedals.
That was like, you were like gonna do a full tail whip.
Yeah. Let me try again.
Wow, that was smooth.
Thank you. Okay, so as I was saying, I got my left foot on the back left peg as I'm rolling into it. And then what I do is I use my right foot, kind of hook it under it if you slide forward and lift up to set my pedals, because I kind of like them set flat like that. One forward, one back for where I land.
Depending on which way you do your tail whip. So if
Yes.
they did it the other way, that would be backwards.
Yeah, you
Okay.
want, I guess, your left pedal forward. Then once I'm set with the pedals, take my right foot and I bring it over the frame. So I got my back foot on the peg and I put my foot right up here. I like to get on the arch of my foot and I like to get it as close, like right up against the forks as possible. Just kind of gives you a better position on the bike or whatever. And at the same time, lock up the front brake. And what that'll do is help lift the back end up, pushing down the bars helps with that too. And in one motion as you're doing that, use your back foot, which is the left one in this occasion, to kick the back of the frame and spin the bike all the way around. What's cool too when you start from the pegs is your foot's further back, so I feel like it gives you a little more leverage when kicking the bike.
Oh, right.
Makes it spin around a little faster. And then as RL was saying, you use the momentum of the frame swinging along with your handlebars and you can kind of whip the bike around. You can, control the speed if you want it to go faster or slow it down a little bit. Okay, so the whole time your bike's spinning around, you got your front foot up on the tire against the forks. And so then when this comes around, usually, like Arlo showing, you catch it with your other foot, so my left foot in this occasion.
And you're looking for where the top tube and the seat post meet.
Yeah, I try to get it right in there. Sometimes it lands a little higher, but what's nice is when you get in here, that's when you can lock up your back brake, pull up and kind of spin and use your momentum to roll out of it. So
how do you get that spin though?
So that was another thing is, when you're doing it from the pedals, that's important because your pedals aren't set. And so when you spin, you twist your body, kind of look over your shoulder to spin it.
Okay.
That spin keeps your momentum going and makes it so you can roll out of it. And then you can kind of find your pedals and get up situated there.
When it's preset though, it's going to look a lot cleaner, huh?
You think
so?
So?
Yeah, because you're going to come out, land, and go right to your pedals.
Yeah.
Instead of like pedals going backwards and all that junk.
Yeah, so.
It's a good idea.
But yeah, the RL showed me at the 180. And it just really, it makes the trick easier because you don't have to get to your pedals right away. It buys you some time, gives you your momentum and starts rolling the bike. So then you have a second to figure that out. If you have your pedals set, you can still do the 180 or you can just get right to your pedals and pedal out. I think it looks cooler with the spin. What do you think?
Spin coming out?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, on a good day, I might get close to a 360 spinning
Really?
on the back wheel on a very good day, and Chris Day would just
Really?
yeah, at least 720s.
What would you say your tips are for getting the bike to rotate when you want to spin out of it? How do you do that? Because for me, it's I lock the back brake up, lift up the handlebar so I'm on the back wheel, and just kind of like, I guess, turn my hips and look over the shoulder in the direction I want to turn in. It's a weird
I think you compress towards the front wheel, okay? And then when you push off the front wheel, of course your brakes are on, the leg that is off swings around and follows your head.
I see.
But what Chris Day used to do is turn your bar like you're in a track stand, sideways, like that, okay? So you're standing on the inside of your front wheel and your seat post. He used to roll his front wheel. He would be standing on the tail whip position.
Yeah.
Put your foot on the frame, on the fork and tire. Fork and tire, on the tire, like you do it.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. Okay, so once he stood on the seat post, he'd push down on his tire and roll it to get the spin. And when you're standing that high on the bike, that does not feel comfortable.
I bet, yeah. And again, thank you to Bobby Carlton for teaching me that other way to do it. Because once I started practicing that way, the trick came to me a lot faster. So that was really cool.
We learn a lot from the community, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone's always pitching in their advice, which is cool.
So, it seems like when you go into it, like, it just goes around better because when you catch the bike, comes around and you're up like this, you get that extra downward momentum.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you really get a lot of whip out of it.
I think I'm more stable on my bike than just walking. Okay, this is one thing I forgot. It's really important. Once you kick it, if you're trying to just come out of this, you know, in a little bit of a thing, just get rolling, you don't have to worry about this. But if you're trying to spin like a 360 or 180, when it comes around, the higher you are on the back wheel,
Like the steeper. Whoa! So the steeper you get that front wheel up, the
that helped
easier.
a lot.
Yeah. Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, you kind of spin, just like everything in the world that wants to spin in a small circle, right? You got to be tight and steep.
Yeah. Here's something I want to try and learn. It's like a reverse. bring it around, then you kick it back and then land that. That's a trick I want to try and learn next. All right, guys, so it looks like that's gonna wrap up today's how-to video on the Footjam Tailwhip. As always with our how-tos, if you guys have any tips or tricks that we didn't mention in this video, please be sure to comment that down below. It's really helpful for myself and RL. It makes it easier for us to learn the tricks, and when we're stuck on things, we definitely go to those bits of advice to help figure it out. Also, if you guys have a trick you want to see us do next for a how-to video, comment that as well, and if we can learn it or whatever, we'll figure that out and make a video. Any last bits of advice or anything you'd like to say before we head out?
I just want to thank Chris and Wheezy Germain for sending us the shirts.
Yes.
And look for them in an upcoming video, because I definitely will be, and Dylan will be wearing them.
Yeah.
So don't argue with me.
Wait, can I see your teeth real quick?
No,
Why are they getting see-through like that?
because I'm old. I'm going for secret. I polish them.
Oh.
I'm going to get all stainless eventually.
Yikes.
Hopefully I won't ever have to brush them again or anything. They'll just last.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, as always, we appreciate you guys watching the video, and thank you as always. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up on the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I guess we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Peace.